My husband let his team call me a trophy wife all night and stayed silent when they mocked me for not knowing tech god. I still can't believe it happened. That night, I witnessed a masterclass in condescension, and by the end, I was the one who delivered the most satisfying lesson they'd ever receive. It was a brutal reminder that some people only respect what they can see, and when they finally saw me, their entire world imploded. It all started at my husband Archie's startup launch party. I'd shown up in a little black dress, heels, and a designer purse, you know the kind, that apparently screamed, "I'm married for money," louder than a fire alarm in a library. His hoodie-wearing colleagues looked at me like I was a poodle at a wolf convention. The party was in one of those trendy co-working spaces that always smell like cold brew and broken dreams, packed with 20-somethings who code first and shower third. And there I was, the apparent anomaly who dared to wear something dry clean only. Archie tried to introduce me to his team, and I swear I could see their thought bubbles forming above their heads like dialogue boxes in a video game. Achievement unlocked. Boss married someone hot. Jax, their lead developer, who looked like he'd been personally victimized by a barber, immediately started explaining what a startup was, speaking slower than dial-up internet, as if I'd wandered in from an alternate dimension where technology hadn't been invented yet. When I asked about their Series A funding goals, he literally said, "Oh wow, you know what Series A means?" With the same shock as discovering your goldfish can do calculus. Then he proceeded to explain it anyway, comparing it to like, when you go shopping and need more money for a really expensive purse. I just stared. Then there was Finn, their CTO, whose personality was as flat as a deprecated API. He kept directing all technical conversation away from me, actually telling me that coding was kind of like following a really complicated recipe, but for computers instead of cookies. The UI designer Jose asked if I worked, with air quotes so aggressive they could have been classified as assault. And when I said I worked in venture capital, he laughed right in my face and said, "Oh, like a receptionist at one of those firms?" As if the concept of me doing anything beyond answering phones was more far-fetched than their startup's profitability projections. It was infuriating. Sadly, Archie got pulled away on business, leaving me to play the nice host. All night, they just kept making these little jokes about trophy wives. Finn actually had the gall to say their startup was too complicated for someone who probably thinks Python is just a snake, while Jax added that I probably married Archie for his future potential earnings, which was rich coming from someone whose current earnings were apparently in equity and energy drinks. Even Jasmine, the only female developer, tried to bond with me by complaining about how some women just coast on their looks, while literally looking at my shoes like they were proof of my moral failings. Jose made a crack about how I probably thought their burn rate was something that happens at the gym, which might have been funnier if he looked like he'd ever seen the full story video added in below.